So I just saw Thor, Love and Thunder, and just like the other two movies that I've seen, it's pretty good, but this one is definitely better than the other two movies that I've reviewed so far. These two movies that I've seen have been either so-so or just really fun. This is a good movie and a lot of people don't like it. I have to address the fact that I love this movie and a lot of people don't. It's getting close to some of the lower rated Marvel movies, and I don't think that should be true, because Thor Love and Thunder is just really solid and I enjoyed it a lot. One thing that I do need to address, I don't like Jane. I never have liked Jane. Thor 1, she was abysmal. Thor 2 speaks for itself. She wasn't in Thor 3, good choice, Taika Waititi, and she's back in this movie. And in this movie, she has become Walter Hartwell White. She still lives in Albuquerque. Also, she has cancer. Who would have thought? Next thing you know, to save herself, she won't be saving the world with Thor's hammer. She'll be killing people with a bike lock. Yeah, no, I think Jane was very awkwardly forced into this movie, also because I don't think she should be worthy of the hammer. We'll live and let live, because they kill her. Also, Thor Love and Thunder is really funny. I like Thor's comedy a lot. Like, in Thor 3, he was a fucking goofball, and everyone liked him. Everything in this movie is pretty much just comedy, which can get distracting, but, you know, it's not usually there in the very important scenes. This movie also just stands alone in the Marvel Universe. Sure, it's connected to the other Thor movies, but it doesn't make a big impact at all on the Marvel Universe. It does raise some interesting questions, like, why is Stormbreaker open to, why is Stormbreaker, a weapon that was just made, the only tool to open, Eternity? Couldn't we just have... Okay. I think they actually do explain that and say it's the Bifrost that opens Eternity and not, Stormbreaker. That would make more sense. But then why didn't Gore take Mjolnir? It was there. It was sitting right there. When Jane fixed it, she just sort of like put it in a room and it stopped. She stopped using it for a little bit. Like, what the hell, Gore? The jokes are distracting, but I can point out only one scene where the jokes were so distracting that I felt less immersed in it. And it's like, they're using these goats to get across the Bifrost Bridge to go into Gore's, like, planet. And they crash into Gore's planet with these screaming goats, and you hear one scream. I mentioned, like, a minute ago that Gore could have just taken Mjolnir, but Gore isn't, like, a bad villain. Gore is actually, right now, one of my favorite Marvel villains. He's actually very, very compelling, and I like that a lot. The idea is that he worships these gods and prays to them for help while they're in the desert, and his daughter dies. And he goes to the god and that randomly appears, and he's like, "Oh, my Lord and Savior," and he's like, "What the fuck? No!" And then tries to kill Gore. So Gore takes the Necro Sword, which is the only weapon that can kill a god, and kills a god. But Gore, like, whenever I saw Gore on screen, I just had, like, the best time of my life. It's the same feeling that I had when I watched The Dark Knight and Joker came on screen. Like, that is how much I liked Gore. I was just awaiting his return. Now, I do think that Gore's send-off is kind of disappointing. I mean, it's not horrible, it's just slightly disappointing for this character that I've grown to kind of like. He goes to the thing, and before he's like, okay, Eternity, can you kill all gods? And Thor's like, wait, Gore, no. And Gore's like, what the fuck? You're interrupting my plans. Wait, no, you can bring your daughter back. But I'm gonna die. I'll take care of her. It really does that, like, in a way that is kind of cliche. One thing I want to quickly mention, I love the use of Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. I've loved that song for so long, and it's really great to see it get incorporated. But where that fails, it's also very aesthetically pleasing. There's a scene where Gore is in the tropics, and it looks very good. The lighting, the LUTs are very good. There's also a scene where they go into complete black and white because Gore has sucked all color from the planet, the Necro. I also really like, this is a personal thing, but I like that all the children get to have the power of Thor. I like when children can do shit. I'm a child. To end this video off, because it is getting long, as it says 11 minutes on my microphone, I would like to talk about the mid-credits and post-credit scenes. So, the mid-credits shows that it sets up the next film in the Thor franchise, and that villain that they introduce is Hercules. And I was on the floor laughing, because in that one scene they managed to make me just crack up with the CGI, because it's only gonna be like a guy looking up. It's like gonna be like this random dude looking up at the sky. So they're like, okay, we're not gonna put a lot of CGI work into this, and then it's so like funny, because there's so little time put into it. It's like they had to cram this in because no one was satisfied at the studios with the actual post-credit scene. But yeah, it's just really funny. And the actual post-credit scene that I think was going to be the original intention for a post-credit scene was really nice. We got to see Jane go to Valhalla, and that is really nice, because it is this character who has spent the entire movie getting a new character arc, because her old character arc was pretty shitty, and it's really enjoyable to see her get a send-off like that. Overall, this movie has some great moments. I love the Stormbreaker, Mjolnir, and Thor love triangle. It's so funny, and it's really well done. So I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. Go watch it.